one Mr. Smirnoff was marketing to the Trump campaign.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Joy. I'm a big fan. I was watching your show from the very beginning. I mean, it was a little bit more than just donating. I built a relationship with a very big Trump lobbyist, Brian Ballard at the time, and a combination between the donations and the relationship with him, I was able to become a very big insider in Trump's inner circle. I met Giuliani in the summertime of 2018. When I say met, I really met him. I met him several times previously, but that's when we got pretty close. We started spending time every day, and I could tell that Ukraine was always on his mind. At that time, he was looking at Ukraine for the Paul Manafort stuff, the Black Ledger, and certain stuff. And then one evening, we were sitting in the Grand Havana room, and Giuliani got a call from Art Schwartz, I think it was. It was one of his investigators at the time that was doing research on Ukraine and had some breaking information. He had a whistleblower that was basically telling him information about, Hunter Biden on the board of the directors and other information about the Black Ledger. And we were sitting, me and Igor, with them having cigars. Igor was having drinks, and Rudy got off the phone and started, like he would usually, and start talking about what, he was on the phone with us. And when he started talking, he started realizing that we knew a lot of the players. We heard a lot of the same information, and we were eager to, participate in the conversation. Within a half an hour.
So wait, let me just back up for just 1 second. You were born in Ukraine, right? Back when it was part of the Soviet Union. You were Ukrainian. And so this whole idea, all the Black Ledger stuff, the allegation was supposed to be that Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, when Joe Biden was vice president, were taking bribes to protect this company, Burisma, that Hunter Biden sat on the board of, right? Is that the same story that you were also peddling? And do you now say that that story was made up?
Absolutely. That was the same story, and I've been saying that it was made up for the past 4 years. Ever since my arrest, I've been screaming at the top of my lungs that it was made up. And not only was it made up, I've also shown the world that the people that were doing it were Russian agents that were, and Giuliani never cared. Giuliani never cared. Solomon never cared. Fox News never cared. None of them cared, as long as it fit their narrative.
Yeah.
And that was the information that was pushed.
And who fed you that story?
It was a bunch of people. Most of them had ties to Russian oligarchs or Russian agents or Russian government officials. Some of them were actual Ukrainian officials that also had ties, but at the end, it was all the same people pushing the same story that was coming from the same source, Russia.
Right. And the goal of the story was to make Biden look corrupt so that it would negate Donald Trump's alleged ties to Russia and make it look like Biden was on the take in Ukraine. Is that correct?
Oh, that was a combination, yeah. First of all, it was that, but also Trump was so scared of losing to Biden that he thought it would be an embarrassment that they wanted to seal it by getting Biden out of the race by showing how corrupt it was and not giving him a chance.
So let me bring you in, Naveed, because you, served as a double agent. You know how this works. Is that how it works? That a Russian operative or Russian agent gets to somebody like our friend Lev here and says, hey, this is a story I want you to push. And then it goes into the ecosystem, and then that works. But if he also has an FBI handler, and then he's telling that guy the story, that's a crime, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're right on both parts. I mean, Joy, this feels like we've been here before. It's like WikiLeaks, Carter Page, and all of that rolled into one. For people who maybe just have lived under a rock for the last 8 years, I'll say this, as I've said it before, for Russia, the Cold War never ended. The United States is Vladimir Putin's main enemy. He is seeking to undermine not just democracy. It's not about necessarily putting a thumb on the scale for Biden or Trump, although intelligence assessment says that he prefers Trump. The reality is that he wants to see a weakened United States. I mean, we talked about the death of Navalny, but the other big news that happened this week is that it was announced that Russia is trying to put a nuke into space. I mean, this is a man, unlike 2016, unlike 2020, he's at war in Ukraine, losing badly, he's desperate, and this makes him incredibly dangerous. So why wouldn't he try to interfere with the election? Why wouldn't he try to undermine Joe Biden? It just, it just makes
bueno, ya salimos de la base y vamos al hotel. Un día más, a rato.